Morning, folks. How are we all today? I hope we're all well. As you can see, just in the corner of the screen is my co-presenter for today, Charlie Cat, because the other co-presenter is in Crete looking for rabbit holes at this point in time. He disappeared now. I can assure you that's the truth because he sent me it in a post. He did. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Let's see who's all in. Andy Scott, Brian, Jim Stevens, Mark Telfer, June. Hi, June. Hi, Alistair. Hi, Stephen, Mr. E. Who else we got? One up we go. Hi, Eddie. Hi, Jim. Hi, Woodpet. Hi, John. I'm sure I've seen George there and off up there in Aberdeen. Hi, Gillian. Hi, there's George there. Right, back down again. And that's me just been notified that it's when it's gone out on Facebook. But I can't change the settings until afterwards, I believe. Have a wee look. Carol, I'll get your message in a minute. Nope. Can't edit audience until after the video is finished. Well. Way it goes. Anyway, we're getting there. The numbers are climbing nicely. Good morning, Reagan Elite. Morning, Peter. Morning, Alex. Right, it's Andy Truck Davy out the truck and at home in his office in Sargent, North Lanarkshire, where I always am these days, where it is a beautiful, beautiful morning. 23 degrees. 23 degrees at 10:30 in the morning. Unbloody believable. Anyway, Scorchio, and it's about to get as hot as hell here today. At 1500 hours today, the temperature is supposed to be as high as 28 degrees. Wow. Now the pollen count's high. Main allergen is grass. Get your histamines taken, your antihistamines taken if you've got hay fever like myself. And I have taken mine this morning. So that's the weather, folks. Wow. That's the weather in Salisbury here in North Lanarkshire. If you want to know what the weather's like with you, look out your own bloody windy. Ali Watson, 37 with you. I'm no gone there. I can barely put up with 23 here. And it's going to get warmer. Right. We're up over the 100 mark, so let's get this underway. And there's some some cracking stories in the paper today. First up this morning, we've got the loony rag, the Express. And what's the Express got for us today? This is the Express. The Express has Chiefs run up debt that were self-inflicted, leading to £22 million bailout for the Scottish Government. Universities' bosses quit after damning report slates finances. Well, as you know, the Scottish Government just bailed Dundee University out to the tune of £22 million. And of course, they had the books audited. And as it turns out, the university is perfectly viable, just that the people who were in charge decided to run a line of credit and didn't have to run a big line of credit. An absolute stormer of a line of credit, actually. Unbelievable. That's the way it goes. So, quit. Should have been bloody well sacked. Absolutely taking a viable institution and turning it into a basket case with debts of 35 million quid. Oofed. The banks were going to foreclose. Unbelievable. So we'll take that down. We'll get shot here. The next up this morning, we have the Scotsman. and it's running on the very same story. It has uni chiefs quits over damning report into 35 million deficit. Financial collapse at Dundee was self-inflicted, experts find. And as I say, that was the auditors. That was the auditors who who the government sent in to have a look at the state of the finances. And as I say, the auditors have said that the business is viable. They just run a huge line of debt. So there you have it. And to be fair, all the Scottish papers are running, well, the three main ones are running on it as well. The two main ones are running on this morning, the Scotsman and the Herald. So next up, we'll put the Herald up. Let's get a different take on it. I am truly sorry for the impact this financial crisis has had on people. Dundee Uni Chief quits role. Quits? He should have been bloody well sacked. So he should have. Quits role. Unbloody believable. As usual though, these people do orang. God knows how much he personally took out the university, but these people do orang. And once again, the taxpayer has to bail them out. They should be looking into that financial mismanagement to see if there's any actual criminal activity went on there. And quit. Jail the bugger if there has been. Taking a totally viable institution and wrecking it. Unbelievable. Right, next up we'll get the Times. We'll put it up. The Times has Dundee University chief quits after scathing report on crisis, and Trump steps back from brink of bombing Iran. Tehran gets 2 weeks. A reprieve apparently to negotiate a peace deal with their attackers, Israel. So it's Iran's responsibility to appease Israel, is it? And the byline in this one's interesting. Ayatollah's propagandist to speak at Scots Mosque. Let me fix that for the Times. Let me fix that for the Times. Iranian imam visits Scots Mosque. Ayatollah's chief propagandist. I suppose we do address the Brit Nat editor here in Scotland on the BBC as their chief propagandist, but a religious man? I don't know. What I do know is the language is meant to demonise the Iranian people. That's what the language is meant to do. And while we've got Western leaders confirming Israel's right to self-defence after Israel viciously attacks a peaceful state, not on. But what I will say is they're not going to win against Iran. Why won't they win against Iran? The system's built on ideology. They've been sanctioned to hell and back. They've survived. They've got stronger. They've been isolated for 30 years. They've built a brand new way of operating. Their banks were shut down. Their access to the international financial market was shut. They created their own ways of paying for things. Iran will not be defeated. It won't. So if the West think they're going to chop off the head of the Islamic Iranian Republic, they'll just put somebody else in their place. This is a war they can't win. You can't beat an ideology. It's a bit like why Scottish independence has never went away. Yep, it's prominent at the moment. It was prominent in the early 1900s. It was prominent in the 1800s. It's always been there because you can't kill an idea. You just can't. And that's why they won't beat Iran. They've tried everything to bring Iran to its knees and have failed. Right, take that down. Next up we have the next page. Next up with the Guardian. So let's get the Guardian up. What's the Guardian got for us? Trump will decide on Iran attack within 2 weeks. If there is anybody in America left with half a brain in their military, they'll know that bombing Iran will be pointless. Pointless. Unless you're going to wipe the whole place off the face of the map. Wasting your time. And apparently Britain's behind the curb on assisted dying, according to an MP. We'll be a bit more of that as we go on. Right, next up this morning, we have the National, I think. Let's look. Yep, the National. What's the National got for us this morning? Well, apparently J.K. Rowling's got into a barney by the National. The editor has replied. Hypocrisy. Israel calls strike on hospital a war crime. Experts agree medical facilities should not be attacked, but points out that it has been done in Gaza time and again. So Israel's hypocrisy. They're screaming foul because Iran had a hospital, probably by mistake, because what we have found out is that the Israeli state has set up its people as a human shield. It was accusing Hamas of this, but as it turns out, that's exactly what Israel's been doing. They have put their military facilities bang smack in the centre of residential areas, like next to hospitals. Thanks, Alistair. Some funds for the baby bank. Enjoy the Stirling March. Sadly can't go as work, but we'll be there in spirit and watching it live on YouTube. Well, I'll be streaming it, Alistair, because I will be there. Don't know if I'll manage the whole march though. Oof. Temperature's going to be getting up. I was going to put my coat on, but it's too heavy to wear in that sort of temperature. But thanks again, Alistair, you're a generous man. And at the bottom of the page, we've got Swinney to discuss framing of Indy in Party's 2026 election campaign with SNP members. So apparently it'll be on the agenda at the up-and-coming conference. Okie dokie. So that's what the Nationals got for us today. We'll take it down. Shot it. Next up, we've got the right-wing shill rag, the Fail, which it got for us this morning. It'll be an SNP bad story, that's for sure. Well, actually, this is a Conservative Party policy, which is now being thrust by the Daily Fail on the SNP, apparently. Nationalists plan to tackle bloated public sector, mocked by critics. A 1 billion bonfire of SNP quangos. Don't hold your breath. Now, as far as I know, that's not been SNP policy. But we do know that Russell Finlay was in the same rag saying that's what he would do to save $1 billion. Actually, he said 660 million. This rag's just making it up as it goes along, folks. So, 660 million a week or so ago was Conservative policy here in Scotland. Now apparently it's SNP policy here in Scotland. Interesting, even if not true. But I knew it'd be an SNP bad story. You get into it, it says hundreds of high-paid jobs to be axed. These are the people that still want that you're wasting money, and now they're concerned for the people you're going to lay off, allegedly. Could they fucking make it up? But they do. And I mean they make it up. Next up, they're answered, and we don't put their answered up, so we'll just tell you what we've got. Their answered on a crime story, an old crime story, and it says, paedophile singer backs probation snub. Now, according to the Daily Record, Gary Gutter has said that he should never be let out of jail because of his unhealthy and uncontrollable urge for children. So, I suppose the only thing you say about that is the man knows he's a danger. So he's not a total scuzz bucket. Right. Right, where we go next? The Eye. Let's see what the Eye's got for us this morning. Let's not see what the Eye's got for us this morning. I'll tell you what it says. The Eye goes in the miscarriage of justice story, and its headline is, "It's official, justice for victims of the second post office computer scandal." And apparently the post office had a second faulty IT system called the Capture IT system, and it had similar faults to the Horizon IT system, and there was postmasters and sub-postmasters being prosecuted for theft and fraud under that system as well. Now, rightly, that they get justice. They have to be pardoned and compensated, which is only right because the convictions were false in the first fucking place. Their lives were ruined. And at that time, the government was in control of the post office. Shocker. Right, next up, a Telegraph. Let's hope we'll go to that. Yep, the Telegraph. Labour MPs turn on assisted dying bill. I thought they'd kicked that into the long fucking grass. Apparently the vote's on a knife edge as they switch back and forth between yes and no to assisted dying. Well, it's quite a hefty subject, to be fair. It is quite a hefty subject. Right, what are the bylines? I'll give you last chance for deal, Trump tells Ayatollah. And Ayatollah tells him to go and buy all his fucking heat. They were at the table. Netanyahu blew the shit right off the table. And cost of new passport could rise by 32 in latest blow for travellers, apparently. So that's what we've got in the Telegraph today. We'll get it done. Get shot at. Next up this morning should be the Metro. Aye, we're powering through this morning. But what's the Metro got for us today? As Evil Zoo jailed, women tell of ordeal. Haunted by PhD rapist. And this is a university student who has raped over 10 women. He's just been convicted to life in prison, which is about right. So, He'll be off our streets for at least 15 years. Because that's the minimum of life, isn't it? That's what they say, 15 years. Right. Christ, we motored through that this morning. But we'll put a star up and then we'll have a wee couple of minutes about what's going on in the motor. And then we'll just enjoy our weekend. So, what's the star go for us this morning? And the star has 32C, Here Comes the One. Royal Ascot, as in hot, hot, hot. Now, they're really going to make these fucking beasties run in that weather? They're actually going to make these beasties run in that weather? I didn't realise that horse racing was such a cruel sport. There you go. It's got to be as hot as the halls of hell, and they want to go riding GGs. I dare say there'll be a few horses dying then. Ah well. Way it goes. So, been a lot in the papers this week, folks. And there's been a lot of developments worldwide. None of it good. None of it good. Hi, Dylan. So, tomorrow, folks, it's going to be as hot as hell. If you're going to do the full march, make sure you've got plenty of water. Stay off the alcohol. And so make sure you've got plenty of water. Because it's supposed to get up to 28, 29 degrees tomorrow. So the march will be very difficult for a lot of people. I'll not be making the whole lot. I'll pick it up on the last leg. There's no way I can walk that 3 or 4 miles in that weather. Well, I could, but I'd probably die at the end of it. The exhaustion. But I look forward to seeing a lot of you tomorrow in Stirling and at Bannockburn. It should be a good day out. The battlefield there's a great place for a picnic. The Indy 2 Cafe will be there. You'll be able to get coffee, tea, cold drinks, and some refreshment, some food, cake, sandwiches, that sort of thing, or rolls. And all the money donated is then given to food banks, as you know, as we do in this channel day. And as you know, a lot of friends. Everybody at the Indy 2 Cafe is a good friend. So if you're looking to speak to me tomorrow, you'll probably find me there at the Indy 2 Cafe with a cup of coffee in my hand. Okie dokie. But it promises to be a good day. To see the battlefield there's a cracking day, cracking place on a good day for a picnic. And there's plenty of room for the wee ones to run about, so bring the grandwains. Have a good day, right? You can't make it, Desiree. Sorry to hear that. And the Highland Show is a great experience, Mark. And I see that the Highland Show, the farmers' unions, no chuff with these trade deals as the market opens up to New Zealand and Australia. They're no happy at all. And Brazil. So they're no happy at all. Aye, and folks, Friday Frolic tonight, 5 o'clock, Daily Blasé. Really good stuff. I don't know if Young Regan a Week's going to be doing a live tonight. You can drop it in the comments. But as I say, cracking day out, Bannockburn. See you all there. Have a nice weekend. Remember, it's going to be as hot as hell. Plenty of fluids. See you all tomorrow. Bye for now.